Hi, welcome back. This month's four-way project is proposition from Richard, and it's a tray. Now I have a little bit odd shape blank, and I'll explain that in a minute why. Please don't forget after watching my video to check out Sam, Mike and Richard's version of tray. So let me zoom you in a little bit closer and we'll set off. Okay, so my blank is a little bit weird shape. This is the maximum diameter that I will get, and that's 275 mil or almost 11 inches. So that's my perfect diameter, this line here. Now the reason I left this bulk here on the end, on each end, is I'm going to make a handle here, and I'll try to make a nice little modern shape, and we'll see how it goes. Now in terms of sizes, this is what I had, and it's this lovely walnut, so that should be quite interesting as well in terms of color. And this will just get on the lathe slowly. So the first section of the video is everything about truing up. So I have to bring this down. So I have this where the bark was a little bit more manageable in terms of design that I want to put. And on the tray you want to have the biggest diameter you can have for the base. Preferably maybe 80 to 90% is the base. So and on the inside, when we get to that point, the bottom has to be flat obviously, because you're carrying the drinks or food or anything. You don't want to spill it over if it's rounded. So I'll just put the banjo back on tailstock and we'll set off. This is a 16 mil ball gouge. Now I can true up a little bit of the diameter here. Okay, so that's nice and clean here where the handles will be, and here as well, so that's all good. Now in terms of the total diameter for the tray itself, it will be somewhere in this range here. So I have to now start to scoop out all of this waste here, but leave myself here for the handle. But before that, actually I'll true up the top so I know where the end is. I'm not pushing the tool in, I'm letting the wood come to the tool because it's so uneven, the edge. And now I want to make this as flat as I can, straight in. And I'll do that the best with spindle gouge. still have this quite a bit here. Now if I incorporate some sort of a design here, I think I can get away with this. And I still have all of this as a base, which I think would not make much of the difference. I think it will be okay. Yeah, I'll go for that for now. So I'm using the spindle gouge again. Just take this corner away. Okay, a little bit more here, or I can scoop it out a little bit. Actually, I'll do that. I'll scoop it out, and I'll scoop. Now I can increase the speed a little bit more. So that's nice curve. A little bit more. Now I don't want to go any smaller than this diameter here because it is a tray. Now I removed a little bit here, but I'll scrape that away. That will be okay. Scraper here. Now that doesn't seem quite sharp, so I'll sharpen it. I haven't used it for almost 2 weeks. I was too focused on the cups. Okay, so this will be my outermost diameter that will touch the table, and nothing in between cannot touch the table. There is a lovely figure here. Hope you can see it. Now the surface isn't all that great. A little bit more actually. I'm scraping here. And like I said, I want to reduce this, so only the part that's touching the table will be this here. And I'll just use a ball gouge to scoop it out a bit. Like so. And now I can just finesse it a little bit with a scraper. So I'll make a recess. Now I don't want a plate to be, a tray, sorry, to be extremely thin on the bottom, so I can go with a recess here and scraper. You can hear that vibration, and from uneven top, and that's okay. Just clean this up a little bit more. Now with the skew I want to undercut this portion here where the jaws go. So it's a slightly dovetailed, and just a little here so it's not sharp. Here, as I usually do, just make this slight curve. Yeah, that will be quite sandable now. So all of this now is the bottom here is finished, so I can focus now a little bit more on this transition here where the handles will be, and how to incorporate everything. So I have this cove here. I would like to smooth that out a little bit more. So I'm still low in the revs. That's running now at 900 RPM. That's pretty good. A little bit more of the bark here left, and this portion of the grain, it's a little bit rougher. So I have a burr, nice fresh burr on the scraper, and look at how that nicely scrapes. Just by the look of the shavings and how the tool sounds, I know this will be quite clean, and it is. That's doesn't need anything more here, but I still have quite a bit of tear out here. Now it's time to think about the handles. The handle here can be, I'm going to cut away first of all most of this here, so only here on the side grain will be left. Now ideally you want the handles to be on the end grain part, which is here, over here, but since I don't have the length on that blank, I only had the width, I'm going to go with side grain handles, which if you make it too thin it can break off, but I'm not going to make them too thin. So that's something to think about when you make stuff like this, about the grain orientation. So this is again spindle gouge. What I think I'll go is nice simple shape, a little bit thinner on the very edge, but way thicker down there. So and I'm making this slight curved as well. I can make whatever I want basically from this corner here to this corner, but I want to make a slight curve, let's say maybe like so. So I have more space on the inside. Okay, that's nice little OG curve. For the last few of the shear scrapes, I'm going to hone the right wing of the spindle gouge. Now you'll see much bigger difference in shavings, I hope. So I'm taking my time to get this right, because I don't want to sand for very long, where the handle will be missing here and flying around, so there's always a possibility that it will knock you in the knuckles. So that should be now quite good. Yeah, that's pretty good surface. There is a line between the scraping in this direction and this direction, but that will sand away immediately, so I'm not concerned about that. Now I can start to shape here the handle part. It's a little bit aggressive, so I'll go with shear scraping mode. Yeah, don't do that. Yeah, don't do that stupid mistake that I've done. So what happened here is I was sure that I will be like going like this and not cut the upper edge. But what happened is I did cut the upper unsupported edge, and it caught here and here actually, and it draws entire edge and slams it back down quite violently, as you heard. And there is a little ding in the tool rest as well. So first what I'm going to do is just sand the tool rest a little bit. Yeah, so what you saw was really dumb mistake, and do not do it like that. I should have used a spear point scraper here, or as I did here with the spindle gouge, I could smooth this curve here, but yeah, stuff happens, so now we have to clean this up. Should be okay for the top side, and now just for the bottom one, use a shear scraper to clean it nice and gently. That should be okay, and it is. So now continue back with this where we left off. So again, spindle gouge. So that's spindle gouge as a shear scraper, and you can see that's pretty good surface here. And the curve is actually quite good as well. I can sand all of this, and then we'll make the next step, which is actually cutting away the handle part. Straight edge, and yeah, that's pretty darn good, so I'll go with that. And here now it's just terms of preference, how long do you want the handles, or short, and I'll go with, since I have the wood here, let's go for a little wider. So for now I'll go with 7 and 7 on this side, so that's 14. Yeah, I think that will be okay on this side as well. And now what I'll actually do is take it off the chuck. I'm just curious to see if I go diagonally between the two lines like so and make a mark. How will this look? Now again, this isn't NASA science, doesn't have to be really exact, but close enough. So I hope you can see what I've done here. So diagonals from the two lines, so this should be like so. Now I would like maybe a little bit more of a curve or anything like that. Maybe it looks a little bit. So I grab a little bit of a disc here that I have, and as it appears, it's almost the right size. So I'll just draw a circle. See how that looks. I think that's the winner here. Yeah, that looks okay. Now What I'm going to do on the bandsaw is I'm going to hold it like this upside down, and I'll just cut away this line here and this portion here. I'm going to go straight to this corner all the way around. So I'll be back in a few seconds. Okay, so this is now after bandsaw. As you see, I've removed all of this material here now. Now the next step is to put it in a chuck, and I want to reduce some of this weight here. This is way too much material here on the top, and then once I reduce this, then I have a little bit less material here to sand as well. Now you can see, I hope, why I left all that timber here. These are really now dangerous parts, and just be aware where these corners are if you're going to make something similar to this, and just spin it before you turn it on. Again, ball gouge. Okay, that's looking okay. Yeah, I can start to develop the handles here now. With that, I'll reduce this part that I need to sand even more, and then I'll focus it more on the inside. I'm going to curve this in a little bit. But as you remember, I have these side grain handles, so I don't want to make them too thin, and yeah, I can thin it down a little bit more. So all of this is waste wood now. I'm removing this by going into side grain. There's no point in taking this and facing the end grain, which dulls your tools faster. This is much easier on the tools and much more fun, as if this was a green bowl, you have a lot of big shavings. Part that I need to sand now is way less than it was before. So now just take out whatever you have and just sand here all of this part. So the handle, the sides here, the side of this profile here, and then once I do that, I will sort out to make the tray part on the inside. I hope you can see this is the transition here is nicely sanded. Little touch-ups here and there, like this little dip here, which I'll do it actually now. What I recommend for sanding is sort of an interface. This is quite soft one, which does help with the contours. Yeah, and that's pretty good. And now I can focus on the inside. So I have a small spindle gouge, and go into like so. Okay, it does look clean on this side, a little more round over. Slightly undercut this. I should have done this before, and it's much easier if you do it before. Let's see, a little bit more. Done quickly on the grinder is just take away the corner here. Let me just focus it. A little gouge here, so I can get in that corner more efficiently. A little bit more. I think that should be okay. And yeah, it is. I think this will sand away pretty good. To exaggerate where the diameter, where the inner ball will start. So just clean this up a little bit with the scraper. Make myself a little bit more room. I can just clean the shavings here. They're all over the camera. Let's make a bead here. And on this side as well. Whoops. Like so. Now just bring this underneath the bead. See how that's looking. Yeah, I'm okay with that. Remove all of this waste in the middle. Again, watch out for the handle. So in terms of depth, I'm going less than this line here. Somewhere around here I think it will be okay. Ball gouge, drop the rest a little bit. So that's the bottom for now. Being a little aggressive. Now we need a clear definition where the flat spot in the middle stops, and I'm thinking I'm going to just make a taper down where I want to go. Okay, I'm going to stop for now there, raise the rest a little bit, and I'll use a square and scraper. So for now, just want to check how thick I am down there. So this is where the chuck lays in, it's the thinnest part, and here I have around 10-12 mil. So I can thin it down just a little bit more, and that should be it. And actually, let's go 4 mil down. Somewhere around there. Okay. Now usually what I would do to check the flatness of the base is I'll be putting the ruler while it's spinning, like so. Now this is a little bit big, this one. But I can't do that now. Actually I could do it, but I would have to move the rest and maybe get a little bit in front of the camera, just to be safe of the spinning handles, and I don't want to risk it. So I hope you can see it or not. There is a big about 2 mil in the middle where I'm too low, and the sides here are roughly 2-3 mil higher, which is actually a good scenario versus the vice versa, where I could go, if there is a big mountain here of the material, then I could go through it. Now as I left this little piece of material here and I have the bead up top, kind of wants me to decorate, maybe put a bead underneath here and on the top. So I'll see if that's the possibility in a few seconds. So I'll stop there for a second, again check how flat I am, and that's really not too bad. 1 mil difference in the middle, where in the middle I'm lower than the sides, but this part here I'm pretty close to flat. So all I have to concentrate now is from this part here about 1 mil lower. stop and check the progress. Now, like I said, if this doesn't have the handles here, I would not stop the lathe. I would lightly press this on. You can use a wooden straight edge, anything that will give you sort of a reference how flat you are. And I'm pretty close. Now with the broader, this shear scraper, I'm going to go lightly across the whole surface. To clean it up, and as you can see, that's pretty clean surface, almost flat. A little mouth in the middle, this part here, so just remove that. And yeah, that's pretty flat apart from this very final area here. To get a nice clean cut without any ridges at all. Now again with the square and scraper, see how that's looking now. Yeah, overall not too bad. It's more of actual like a pyramid shape than a bead, so just a few little stroke on the top. Yeah, that's much better. Now to the sanding part. Now for the very bottom, I'm going to use some sort of a block like this. This is quite firm styrofoam. You can use a wooden block or whatever you have at hand, and I'm going to sand this part like so. This part I'll sand obviously by hand, and again this part here I'm going to sand with the block. And I'll just blow off the dust. Yeah, that turned out really nice, and a nice flat bottom. I hope you can see that. Try to show it to you. Should get the light underneath, but I don't have any spare lights here. But overall, I'm really happy with it, and now it's time to put the finish on. And for the finish, I'm going to use this Clapham's. This is salad bowl finish, and it's much like a paste. Just put it on. I'm actually going to use paper towel. So I wiped off the oil, and you can see now the final result. I really like this batch of walnut. It really is quite nice in color, and you can see the bottom. Everything is nicely shaped. Let me just bring you a little bit closer so you can see the details a little bit better. And you can see the details on the inside. So flat bottom, 2 beads with a sort of a straightish wall, and so there's a pretty close even thickness here, and here I have around 7-8 mil, maybe a bit less, and here where the most thinnest is around 4 to 5 mil, which is plenty enough, and don't want to get any thinner than that. And you can see the handle, a little bead here, everything is sanded okay, and here the detail very corner. So overall I'm really happy with this, and now ideally I would like maybe 50-60 mil bigger diameter, so overall bigger scale, but that's all I had in terms of timber. So yeah, I'm quite pleased. So if you can, please go watch Sam, Mike and Richard's version, as I will do too, and yeah, see you in the next video, and thank you for watching.